It's time for Mentorship Monday with Dr. Paul Kranz. Now, here's celebrated author, international speaker, and success strategist, Dr. Paul Kranz.
Well, it's so good to be with everyone today. It is time for Mentorship Monday, and I come to you live like this all the time, and it's just fantastic. I just want to get the right camera angle so I can talk with everyone that's listening by phone on the conference call, and those of you that are watching me on Facebook as I adjust the camera here just a little bit. Okay. Glad that you're with me. I just got back into town. The last couple of weeks I've been doing an exceeding amount of traveling. I went to Indiana and Ohio last weekend, and this weekend I was up in North Carolina and South Carolina. Flew into the great city of Charlotte, and then down in Lancaster, South Carolina. I think they call it Lancaster, South Carolina. Down there ministering for a good friend of mine, good friend, John T. Cahill. John T. Cahill. Man, I enjoyed being down there with him, celebrating. He and his wife, Teresa, have been in ministry for 21 years. 21 years. That's a long time. That's a long time. And so we celebrated that, and I did a leadership seminar, and it was just a lot of fun. So I am glad that you are with me. A lot of things are happening, and man, everything is turmoil. I can't even find the word to describe it. A lot of things are happening in our society and our culture. It's an upheaval, I guess is the word I was thinking about. And I told you, if you were watching or you're listening to me by phone on the conference call, that I wanted to talk to you about resetting, hitting the reset button for success in your life. Hitting the reset button. I don't care how old you are. Does not matter how many times you've been through pain or disappointment. It does not matter if people have let you down. You've experienced financial downturn. Whatever the situation is, you need to understand that you can hit the reset button. You can hit the reset button. Now, it's going to require some faith in God. It's going to really require some faith in God. And God has not given you a spirit of fear, but of love, power, and sound mind. So I want you to know that fear is not of God, no matter what religion or church background you've come from, that God wants to really strengthen you and help you to become a blessed person. The whole purpose of being blessed is that you can become a blessing. That's why God wants to bless you, so that you can become a blessing. So please pay attention. I'm going to give you a couple of things. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for connecting with me. Go ahead and write in if you're coming in live on Facebook. Tell me where you're watching from, what city, what country, what nation. That would be tremendous. Just write it in on the comment line. That would be great to know where you're watching from. And by the way, after this is over, you watch it, repost it. Repost this so that others can experience this. It's just going to be a lot of fun. All right. Someone asked me the other day, they said, Dr. Kreitz, if you had it to do all over again, what would you do? What would you do if you had it to do all over again? And I began to ponder that. I began to think about that. What would I do if I had it to do all over again? Well, write these things down. Get a pen, get some paper, jot a couple of these things down, and I'm going to encourage you. First of all, I would tell you this teaching, and that's this, that your provision is in a place. Your provision is in a place. God made places before He made faces. God made places before He made faces. Your provision is always in a place. That's how you know you're in the wrong place. It's like when the prophet, when the water coming down the brook dried up and the bird flew away that was providing his food, he knew that his provision was gone, so he had to change locations. Location's extremely important if you're going to be successful. You've got to be at the right place at the right time every day of your life. You're not going to meet the right people if you're not in the right place. So you have to get this locked into your thinking. Your provision is in a place. I also want to give you this one. Number 2, follow the path of favor and be quick to corner. Follow the path of favor and be quick to corner. What does that mean? Whenever I'm trying to figure something out, and thanks for joining us. Thanks for joining us all over the place. I really appreciate it. Just let me know. We got folks from Ohio, from Atlanta, from Miami. They're all coming in. Thank you so much. But when I say follow the path of favor, what I'm talking about is that if you truly believe that, life is not happenstance, but, you work hard, you order your steps, you ask God to help you to order your steps, you're going to every now and then step off the path. You're going to make a mistake. You're not perfect. You're human. And so you're going to make a mistake. So you've got to learn to stay on the path of favor, stay focused, following the path of favor, stay focused, and then learn how to corner quickly. When you recognize you've made a misstep, when you recognize that you've stepped off the path, get back onto it as quickly as possible. Don't let days or weeks, don't let disappointment distract you. Don't let devastating words of other people get inside your head, but corner quickly. Now, let me give you a couple more. I wrote these down because someone asked me the other day, they said, Dr. Kreitz, I'm looking at my laptop here. They said, Dr. Kreitz, if you had it to do all over again, because I have lived in homes from California to the Carolinas. I have lived from up in the Northeast, now living down in Florida again. I've lived in a lot of different places. I've driven nice cars. I've driven cars that weren't so nice. I've had struggles. I've had difficulty. I know the pain of divorce. I understand all the things. I know what it is to be happily married. I'm very happily married now. Very happy in my life. In fact, I told someone yesterday I'm the happiest I can ever recall. I'm the happiest I've ever been. And as you get older, you should be getting happier. You should be getting happier because you should be living off less experience and more knowledge. Less experience and more knowledge. Are you listening to me? Are you listening to me? As you grow, you should be making better decisions based upon knowledge. Hosea 4:6 says God's people are destroyed due to a lack of knowledge. Not a lack of miracles or a lack of money, but a lack of knowledge. In fact, God can give you a miracle, and your wrong thinking will put you right back in the same problem. So you've got to have wisdom. You have to have knowledge, and that's why you've tuned in. Thank you. I've got folks just coming in all over the place here on Facebook. I've got friends listening on my conference call. Just jot down where you're calling from or where you're watching from, and then repost this. When we get done, just repost it and put it on your timeline because this will be a blessing to someone else. So, Dr. Kreitz, if you had it to do all over again, I'd recognize my provisions in a place. I would follow the path of favor and I would quickly corner. And I would be honest. Number 3, I would be honest when I was correcting someone. We get around people, we don't want to hurt their feelings. We don't want to hurt their feelings, and we'll say, oh, it's okay. But here's the problem. They're going to repeat that habit. They're going to repeat that action, which is becoming a habit. Maybe they talk too much. Maybe they don't know how to keep a confidence. Maybe they're too compassionate. Maybe they're too harsh with people. When someone asks you, what should I do differently? Be honest with them. Give them an honest evaluation. If you're really a true friend, give them an honest evaluation. Well, they may get upset. They may get offended. Well, they ask for honest feedback. I want honest feedback. I shaved my beard a number of months ago, and I went to my family and I said, what do you think? And they said, grow it back. I said, you don't want to see my, no. We've gotten used to you wearing the beard for years and years and years. Don't shave the beard. You know, I saw a PR specialist one day and they said, you know, people don't trust people with beards. And I said, Jesus had a beard. Well, I got honest feedback from my family. And personally, I think I look pretty good with a beard. So I'm going to keep the beard. What are people asking you? If you had it to do all over again, Dr. Kreitz, what would you do differently? I would recognize my provision is in a place. If I'm not being successful, I might be in the wrong place. I would recognize the path of favor. And when I got off the path of favor, I would corner quickly. I would be honest. I would be honest when I was correcting someone. And number 4, I would discover my purpose. I would discover my purpose and I'd put my entire focus into my assignment. I would discover my purpose and put my entire energy into my assignment. You say, what's the difference between purpose and assignment? What's the difference, Dr. Kreitz? Here it is. Here's the difference. You were born with purpose. You were born with purpose. You were born with purpose. Nobody comes to earth empty. No one comes to earth empty. Everyone born is born with a purpose. That's why abortion is so bad. People are being sent, divinely birthed into this planet with solutions, with creative ideas for electric cars, for flying automobiles, and there is a purpose. Your purpose never changes. Remember, there were men fishing for fish, and Jesus walked up to them and he said, "Hey, you've been fishing to fish. I'm not going to change your purpose. I'm only going to change your assignment. I'm only going to change your assignment. Instead of focusing on fish, I want you to focus on people. I'm going to make you fishers of men." If you have an inclination since you were a kid, 11, 12, 13, and you know what your purpose is, the greatest task now is you've got to find where you can make that purpose work. Where's your assignment? And your assignment's always to a person or it's to a place. Your assignment's to a purpose or to a place. And you say, well, Dr. Kreitz, what if I go there and they don't receive me? Well, it's up to them to discern that you've been sent. And I just live by this philosophy. And this has really helped me. If I had it to do over again, I would have done this a lot earlier. But I live by this philosophy. I go where I'm celebrated, not where I'm tolerated. I go where I'm celebrated, not where I'm tolerated. Thank you for joining me here on Facebook. Jot down what town you're from, what state you're from, what nation you're from, and then repost this when we get done. I'm talking to you right now, and I've got just a few minutes left. Those of you listening by telephone on my conference call, those of you that are live on Facebook, because I've been doing what I've been doing for nearly 40 years. For nearly 40 years, I have been teaching, speaking, writing books, traveling the globe. I've been to nearly 40 nations of the world. I just got back about 5 hours ago from up in the Carolinas, speaking just outside of Charlotte for the weekend. Last weekend I was in Indianapolis. The weekend before that I was in the Bahamas. And so I have to stay focused on where my assignment is. Where my assignment is. I know what my purpose is. I just have to discern where my assignment is. Sometimes my assignment is to be right here at home. My assignment to you right now is to be live with you on Facebook and live on the conference call to bring you Mentorship Monday and to motivate you. So someone asked me the other day, they said, Dr. Kreitz, if you had to do all over again, and so I've been teaching you that, and my last one was to discover your purpose and put your total focus and your total energy into your assignment. Your assignment changes. Your assignment changes, but your purpose never changes. I tell you, here's something else. Let me give you this one. I might give you one or two more, then we got to get out of here. And please repost this evening. Recognize that confusion, write this down. Recognize that confusion is a sign that a deceiver is present in your life. Recognize that confusion is always a sign that a deceiver is present in your life. I can be going along, building momentum, and out of the clear blue, things are slowed down. I can't explain it. It's just, things aren't jiving right. There's confusion. There's a problem somewhere. Well, I want to tell you what that problem is. You have been impacted on some level of your life by deception. Someone is deceiving you. Someone's messing you up. And you've got to identify deception, because deception is deadly. Deception is deadly. I mean, we're warned all through the scriptures, don't get involved with people quickly. Take your time, be patient about drawing conclusions about people. No one is as they first appear. You've got to be very, very, very careful. The relationship I was working with and speaking, and the engagement I had this past weekend was a relationship in being built for the last 3.5 years, 3 to 4, almost 4 years. 4 years before I received the invitation. I took my time. I enjoyed this person. They were a brilliant man and his wife. And I built a relationship with him. And so when they were celebrating 21 years, pastoring a church, 21 years, they asked me if I would come and be the speaker. What an honor. What an honor. What an honor. And it was such a smooth weekend. From the time I flew and got there, and everything just worked out. Yeah, there's little bumps in the road with some luggage the first day, but everything worked out. It was very smooth. It was very smooth. There was no deception around me. There was no signpost that confusion abounded. But I know some people. I know some people who live in confusion all the time. They are so engrafted in confusion, and they don't recognize that they're living in a world of deception. And let me say this to you, and I got to move on. The worst deception, write this down, the worst deception is self-deception. The worst deception is self-deception. Well, let me get one more golden key here for you. One more golden key. Here it is. I think we're on number 5 or something like that. Discern the difference between a battle and a distraction. Write that down. Write that down. Discern the difference between a battle and a distraction. You say, why is that important? I know some very talented people, and they just never seem to get moving. They always have setbacks because they identify a distraction as a battle. They're ready to pull out, heavy artillery. They're ready to deal with major issues, and all it is a distraction. You're taking a bazooka to shoot a fly. Listen, discern the difference. Now, when there's a battle that's going on, a battle for your mind, a battle for your finances, a battle for your family, a battle for your relationship, discern that's a battle, and that battle's worth fighting. That battle is worth fighting. But don't confuse a distraction from a battle. Years ago, I've had a number of secretaries, and most of them were always God-sent and good people. And I had a great secretary, and I was teaching her and training her because I used to always go over the mail. The mail would come in, and I'd go through the mail and make sure that it very small-minded in management. I had to change my management style. And one day I changed my management style. I said, "You're the office manager. You're my secretary. You go through the mail. You do this. And if I ever get a critical letter, I want you to take out a lighter. I want you to take out a lighter, and I want you to light that." I discovered, now we're talking about if I had it to do all over again, and I've given you 4 or 5 points, and I'm on point number 5, discern the difference Discern the difference between a distraction and a battle. Years ago, I had to discern that most of my attacks were distractions. In fact, 98% of the stuff that you have to deal with is not inside your assignment. It's a distraction. It's a distraction. You've got to find just laser-like focus to stay in your assignment. Your distraction can come from right inside your own family. Your distraction can come from within a close relationship. Your distraction can come from something that's not even real. It's not even real. And so I told my secretary, go through the mail and never, never, never give me a negative letter. Never let me see a critical letter. I don't even want to know they came in. Take your lighter, light it on fire, and offer it up as a burnt sacrifice to God. I don't care what you do with it. I don't ever want to read a critical letter, a negative letter, because all it is a distraction. All it is a distraction. You must discern the difference in your life between a distraction and a battle. Why is it so important, Dr. Kreitz? Because there's no reward. There is no reward for a distraction. You are only compensated. You are only victorious in a battle. David fought Goliath. That wasn't a distraction. That was a battle. And David won. David won the hand of the king's daughter. His family never had to pay taxes. That's worth going to battle right there. But the bottom line is you must know the difference. You must discern the difference between a distraction and a battle. Now, I've given you 5 or 6 steps here, some teachings on how to hit the reset button for your success. Because someone came to me the other day and they said, Dr. Kreitz, if you had it to do all over again, what would you do? So I'm sharing this. I'll share some more of this next time. Some things I have learned in nearly 40 years of traveling, speaking, writing, helping people, mentoring people, coaching people. And I want to help you. I want to help you. I want you to be a success. I'm not asking you to buy anything. I'm not selling anything. I'm just wanting to be an encouragement in your world, because this is what I know. What I make happen for others, God will make happen for me. What I make happen for others, God will make happen for me. So if what I'm doing is a blessing, repost it. Repost it. Let someone else watch this. Maybe one of these 5 keys will help someone turn around. It'll help them to reset the success button in their life. You're never too old. It's never too late. You can do this. You can do this. And I'm so glad that you've joined me. I'm thrilled about it. And I'm thrilled about it. And that's why we call this Mentorship Monday. I will talk with you soon. Repost this now and have a great time. God bless. Talk to you next time.
You have just experienced Mentorship Monday with author, speaker, and success strategist